Hello, habari ma Africa. Welcome to Amalinda Conversation with Vus'muzi.
Good day, fellow Africans. Ngiyanibingelela nonke Afrika Chipembe, Masiare Abudzi, Goeiedag. I think today we are more grateful again once more to be gathered here on the Conversation with Amalinda podcast that it's hosted by Vus'muzi under the theme that it's called Inside Beyond Conversation, because we want to look beyond the conversation. We are encouraging the action than dialogues. But before anything, I would like to take this moment also to welcome the man behind the camera, the very special man. His name is Tabo Splash Milatu. He's the man who's behind the camera. He's the man who makes sure that everything works accordingly. But at the same time, today we have a special guest, um, a beautiful and energetic young woman next to me. I think I will take time for her to introduce herself. She will tell her name and where she comes from. I know most of the time women don't like actually to disclose their ages, but I'll put you in a corner somewhere, with my own styles of probing. Yeah, but anyway, you're welcome. Can you just give us your name and where you come from?
Greetings to everyone watching. My name is Itumeleng Mogacebekulu, and Gishala, Orange Farm Extension 3. I'm just so excited to engage in this conversation. And I would like to give thanks to Amalinda Consultancy for actually trusting me in this conversation and allowing me, to give my perspective on some of the things that are happening. So yeah, I'm very thankful to, for the opportunity. Oh, and you did say I should say my age. So I'm actually 19, but I'm turning 20 in a few months in December actually. So yeah, thank you.
Well, that means she's carrying two ages, 19 and 20. So you choose which age that you like to
Yeah, which one is
follow.
suitable?
But before we move on, I would like to encourage our viewers, our followers, to subscribe. To make sure that this show, that it's more popular in Orange Farm. It grows more than our neighbors. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that like you click on the likes, and you also share. It's very important that we grow and the Orange Farm becomes the most popular town once more again. Um, Without wasting any time, I would like actually to allow Itumeleng um, just to tell us, Itumeleng, what are you doing? Are you studying? Are you working? And if you're studying, what are you studying? And where?
Right now, I am currently studying WGC. It's a college. I'm studying business management. That's the course that I'm doing.
I like young people when they come with these abbreviations, SWG, and I'm so lost. SWG, I'm trying to figure out, and I need to set something. Can you just maybe give us what is
Oh, it's
SWG?
Southwest Gauteng College.
Oh,
Yes.
perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, you're welcome to Melink. And um, Dumeleng, when you decided to take this course, what actually drove you to take this course? What actually inspired you to take this course?
Okay, I don't know if people are going to perceive it as like a positive or a negative, but what motivated me is actually looking at the state of the country right now. Our economy is just, deteriorating, and people are complaining about their salaries and whatever. So I thought, let me take like an initiative and create something of mine. Let me do a course here, business management, so that I can do my own thing and actually create opportunities for other young people, because now you have a qualification, but then there's just no jobs. So what motivated me, it's the current state of the economy to say, let me do something for me that I can benefit and for also other youth to benefit. Yeah. That's what motivated me.
I think that's a good one because most of the time we look at the courses that we think we're going to be employed, and in the long run we get frustrated. And yet, instead of looking at courses that can help us actually to do something on our own. For example, now if you think of your business, you can start any business. If you want to sell codes in location, you can be able to start your own business because you have skills to do that. I really actually love that. Um, Currently, we know that there are numerous of learners who are preparing to write metric, you know, and 2025 metric exams. Um, as a previous metric or matriculants, um, what comes into your mind, or what do you think actually that it's going through their minds as matriculants who are preparing to write 2025 metric?
Currently, I'm gonna reflect on myself. I think one thing for sure is that they are very worried about their future. It's the most am I gonna make it? If I finish matric, what's there for me? Because if you okay, many want to proceed with their education, but now the universities and other colleges, they're phasing out some courses. Some courses are being phased out. And there's certain limitations now to the number of learners they take in. So they're worried, if I'm not accepted, what am I going to do? That's their worry, so worry about their future. And some, it's more of like, okay, I'm gonna get into university. Will I get a job after finishing my course? It's just those worries, honestly. And it can be stressful sometimes. It's stressful. And even when, preparing to write your exams, you can be smart. You know yourself, Uti, you're smart. I know myself, Uti, I'm smart. But there just comes this little, I don't like little fear that you might not make it when you write your exams. So it's just one of those things where some negative thoughts just comes to mind, and then it just turns the whole thing, and then you just think so bad about your future, which, oh, I'm not gonna make it. So that's that.
So what are you saying? You are saying now to us, to Meling, that currently we have a bunch of young women and young men who are studying, who are very working very so hard, but they know that they may actually make it, they may pass, but chances of them being accepted at school, at varsity, are very slim. Even if they make it, at some point they may not be employed because of experience and so forth. And you mentioned something that's very, very interesting, frustrating. That's frustrating. What can actually lead us to, if that young person is so frustrated, what can happen to that person?
Jointly, if you are frustrated, you can just think of, like giving up. Let me just leave this whole thing, because why am I continuing with school? It's just that, demotivation to say, since, what you just think of, the bad things that are going to happen when you finish school. So you just, let me just leave this whole thing. Let me, ngihoxe, because now you're thinking, it's okay, when I'm done doing this, and then what's going to happen to me? So that frustration may lead to you giving up eventually.
You mentioned the issues of frustration, and most parents actually are so eager to see their children doing metric, passing metric. Everyone is pushing their child to make metric. And my concern is that do we parents understand the frustration that you young people are going through? Because it's like we are pushing you to go to metric, but we don't maybe understand what is happening after metric, and we don't understand what we are going through. and at some point you don't even sleep. You go for cross night. Do we understand as parents? And if you don't understand, what is it that we need to understand as parents?
I cannot say the parents fully understand, and they're trying actually to understand. I can see the efforts, the parents put into, understanding what we are going through. But at the same time, it's just, it's just limited. Kancane nje. It's just limited because, having sleepless nights, it's not a joke because you're thinking this is my future. Um, it's a lot, it's a bit intricate, it's a bit intricate, to explain. But parents, they try honestly, they try. But the things we, go through because we are worried, if you want something. I'll just make an example for myself. When I was doing matric in 2023, I was so worried about my future. I was so worried. What's going to happen next? What am I going to do after? Am I going to get accepted? Just like I said before, I know myself would say I can pass, but it's just one of those, thoughts that just come into you, and then you think, the opposite, So parents on the other side, they just focused on the passing. Funda uzoba right, but they don't try to, sit down with you, and say, okay, how are you feeling? How are the exams going? Just to sit down and talk, and you parents have, been through it for a long time ago. So now the challenges we go through now compared to the ones you faced, they're different. Remember, we are influenced by drugs, we're influenced by other things. So someone can just say, "Une stress, take this, you're gonna be okay." They don't know the things that we're going through. So, and they don't take the time to sit down with us and, give us that hope. Some other parents, they're not educated, yes, but just to sit down, and talk to your son or your daughter and let them know that everything is going to be okay, because we are really worried about the future. So it's more of sitting down with us and then telling us everything is that's some parents cannot, because there are rich parents who can say, okay, if you're not accepted, we're going to take you to what is this, a private, where you just pay your fees. But some other, so it's just that motivation, from the parents who would say, even though things are not going accordingly, just continue to push, because some other parents really do that, to say, I didn't go to school, I didn't finish, but you, on the other hand, I believe in you. I believe you can do it. So I think that's just what parents need to do. And, daily, okay, not even daily, but, just checkups, checkups. Just check up on your son, check up on your daughter, make sure they're okay, because one thing can lead to another. When you're really frustrated and you really want to pass, someone can just introduce drugs to me and say, take this, and then I take it. And then now it's definitely the beginning of ruining my future, you understand? So it's more on that. I'm just emphasizing with the parents, to do some daily checkups. They may not know anything, but just that motivation for them to push, to say, go, go. Some others, they might motivate them to say, you're the first actually to finish matric, and continue to get that degree, continue to get whatever qualification you get, just that motivation from the parents. And no comparisons from who and who. So this one is doing this, yeah, but no, that's just, those.
Well, Tumeleng, we have to pardon us. We are from the old school. There was no grade R. We had no grade R, and we are from Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. So and we are told that education is the key of success. And these days, when you look at all these kids, it seems as they are lost now. Now it's a question of how do we play around with ideas. But I want to check with you. You mentioned several times the importance of parents playing a role during your studies. Um, I want you to emphasize that point, how important it is for me as a parent. And when I say a parent, I don't mean a mom, because in our community, whenever we speak about parent, it's like we speak about mom, not a father, you know. As a parent, what role can I play to make sure that I get closer to you, I support you, I understand what you want to do. There's an ongoing communication. What else do you need from me as a parent? Because I don't want to come in assuming that this is what you want, but I want to hear from you. What is it that you want to what is it that you want me to support or to provide support you with?
So as for me, I believe in clear communication. In clear communication, it's just you calling me, and then we sit down. Even though we just sit down and then we talk, you can ask me, like, what can I do? I can see you just going through a lot. And sometimes just taking a walk, because some people, they take parenting as what you have to have, money. It's not all about money because, obviously money can be there, but it's just all about, having time with me. We could just take a walk or just go to the park, and reflect on life and reflect on some other things. Then there, that's where I get to see what's, oh, now, my dad is trying to, and I'm also warming up to you and opening up to you. So it's just taking it slow because some of the people, some of us, the young people, we are actually, like worried on. If you ask me about, mhlampe maybe young Buza, about school, and I don't want school. I don't want to continue. So now I'm scared to talk to you because you guys are pushing, the
Yes.
education
Yeah.
part. So it's
I want
more.
a doctor here. Yeah,
Yes, I want a
yeah,
doctor here.
yeah.
I want a. You're not even there. Your career goals are somewhere else. Hence, I'm saying you just take things slowly. Going out. You don't. It doesn't have to be something expensive or something. Just take a walk, go to the park, and engage on conversations. Just us, kancane, and just slow, a bit by bit. What's happening in your life? Are you okay? Checking daily checkups. Then eventually, it will build trust, and then I will be so much free to talk to you, even though I'm going through some of the things. I'll be able to say, "Ish, Dad, I'm going through this," and we see a solution together because sometimes we get friends from outside and then we get misleaded. That's the thing. Yeah.
Itumeleng, now we are slowly approaching the exams, and you mentioned the issues of some of children right now. They feel like they want to give up, because they feel like it's too much, because of anxiety. It's too much. There's a pressure, and what if I fail? Even if I pass, how am I going to pass, and how, whether will I be make it to the tertiary, will they accept me? Do I have funds for that? All those things. But now I want us just to go back. Itumeleng, we live in this sick world where women and girls are no longer free. Whenever you get indoors, you have to make sure that all doors are locked, gates are locked. When you walk out, you have to make sure that you are alert and you make sure that everyone knows that you are leaving and where are you going. How do you feel about that as a young woman who grows in a so-called democratic country where democracy is always being preached, but you can't move anyhow?
I feel very distraught about that matter. As you say, you could see democracy is being preached, but we're actually not free now. And it's not only about girls or women, even everyone actually is not safe at this point, because we now live in fear. We're thinking, if I go out here, what's gonna happen? Just as we're sitting now, what's gonna happen? I feel very distraught about that situation, and it's just one of those situations that we have, to tackle. because every day there's a story about a young girl that's murdered or a young girl that's been kidnapped, or it's just basically everyone is not safe. So I feel very distraught about it, because this was a country that we're supposed to be safe in, but we're not feeling safe. And even the justice system is failing us, even the police, it's a very distraught, feeling for me. And not feeling safe, it's not a great feeling. Everywhere you go now, you have to guard yourself to say what's gonna happen, it's just a very distraught situation.
And at the same time, I'm worried. You are so worried about the current situation, but on the other hand, you have to prepare your future. How do you strike the balance? You have to prepare your future, but at the same time, the future looks so dark because of things that are happening. How do you strike the balance?
I think it's more of taking an initiative. By taking initiative, I mean you just have to, look for opportunities now that are gonna benefit you. As a youth, we have a problem of, like choosing. I'm not gonna do this. It's not for me. I'm not knowing this is just gonna be good for you. So every opportunity that presents itself, take it. I'll make an example of myself. I wanted to do law. I wanted to be a lawyer, and have my own firm. But I saw, okay, here's business management. It's coming to me. I got an opportunity to do business management. So let me tackle it. Probably maybe me gaining the managerial skills that I get from the business management, I might be able to do law and then have a law company and know how to actually run, the business. So that's, it's just and prioritize. That's how you strike. You prioritize some of the important things first, and then the other things are just gonna come later. Your future is important, so you prioritize that. You prioritize your studies. You prioritize everything, and then the rest will just come. The rest will just come. Yeah.
So basically, what you are saying to me is that it is very important that you empower yourself in a way that you are able to identify right opportunities, and you are able to maneuver in the whole all this confusing and risky environment. Because unfortunately, we are South Africans. There's no way that you can say I will leave South Africa, I'll go to China. End of the day, you're a South African. You have to maneuver, you have to find ways of living here. But maybe my last question for you, Itumeleng, talking to a young person, talking to a young one out there. And earlier on, I think we spoke about some of them who are now reconsidering of not writing exams, and some are saying, "I want just to pass this metric for this parent. They wanted their metric. I'll give them their metric, and I'm out." What message can you give to them? Shaping their lives, moving on, because we live in this world where right now even young girls are being exploited by old men, for various reasons. You spoke about drugs. So, what message can you give to young men and women who are growing in these times?
Okay, the message I'd like to, give, every young person is that do not give up. As we see, the economy is deteriorating, schools are just, everything is not going accordingly, but do not give up. Let us continue to push, because if we do not push, what else are we going to do? Uzoba umthwalo kabani eventually. We just need to push for ourselves. Even parents are trying. We can see the situations that are going on at home. Hence I'm saying we just need to be open minded and then take initiative and pursue other things. If you wanted to pursue something else, it's okay. You know, they say great rewards take time. Great rewards take time. So you just need to be a pusher. You need to push. You need to push. Just push. Not everything is gonna come easy. That's what we need to learn. It's not everything is gonna come easy, and it's not gonna come fast. We just need to be patient.
Itumeleng, we about now wrap up the show. But we know that there are young girls and boys roaming around in our community who feels like they are useless. They feel like they don't have a future. And some right now they feel like they want to move in with their boyfriends or girlfriends, So everything is dull. So what message can you give to these young boys and girls to say, as much as you feel this way, but there's a life that you can actually build upon this?
Oh, okay. Firstly, I would just like to, to tell the youth to never give up. Chances are gonna come, they're gonna present themselves. And another thing is do not listen to, the negative comments because in our surrounding, the society sometimes puts negative thoughts into you. I'll make an example. As a girl living here in Orange Farm, it's known if you live in Orange Farm, there's just no future for you. And they'll be like, you want to do this, Uhlalala, Orange Farm. So why are you doing that? So let's just take those negative comments and put them aside because that is not who you are. So believe in yourself. Believe in whatever you can do whatever. So I just like to let them know that everything is gonna be okay. Everything eventually is gonna it's gonna fall into place because great rewards take time and you just need to be patient and persevere. That's the only thing, and everything will just come to place. And grab the opportunities that come. You can get actually a job. Some other jobs, I'll make an example like Capitec, they do some learnerships, and meanwhile you're actually gonna get employed, and meanwhile you employed, they present opportunities like studying into an institution where they also pay for you. Just grab those grab those other things. They just everything is just gonna fall into place. Let us not take the negative comments into our minds and let them digest because it's actually gonna ruin us. So let's not give up. Let's just persevere and everything will just fall into place. I promise you. And one thing again, it's for people to believe in God. God is there. God is there. Just keep on praying. Keep on praying and praying and praying. I always say this to my other friends that if you wake up in the morning, which means God has a plan for you. There's something that He has planned for you. So do not give up. And talk to God about what you want. Talk to Him and tell Him, I want to do this. Lead me and guide me. If this is not mine, then present what is meant for me. Yes, that's just my message to the youth.
Wow, that's powerful. I think the other part about God, that is very, very important, um, because sometimes we live our lives thinking that we can do everything on our own and put God aside. But I think at the same time, it is very important that Orange Farm, it's not a bush. Orange Farm, it's a place. Orange Farm has produced a lot of great people. I can even actually mention them proudly, mention their names. I know Abos Pure Moyo. I know Abos Simpure Masiza. I know quite a number of people who have done very well from Orange Farm. They are from Orange Farm. Abu Tabi Mutobi, I can actually name them. But unfortunately, our media does not actually mention them as from people from Orange Farm, and people when they move out of Orange Farm, where when you look at their biographs on the Facebook, they say Soweto. They don't say Orange Farm. No wants to be seen as someone from Orange Farm. And I want to say this podcast it's in Orange Farm, and this podcast is made for Orange Farm, and the Utabo behind the camera is from Orange Farm, and we'll make sure that Orange Farm grows more than this. So thank you very much, and I would like also to remind our viewers, our Orange Farms citizens, to subscribe. Please subscribe. Make sure that this show actually grows. It grows. It's for this show to grow. We really need you. And also, please visit our website www.amalindaconsultancy.co.za, or you can actually drop a comment on our email address, vusi@amalinda.consult, vusi@amalindaconsultancy.co.za, or the podcast itself, Conversation with Amalinda. Remember that we said we don't actually just talk, but we want to see action. And I think at some point we are going to encourage where we'll meet and say, based on all these episodes, what have we done? We need to review, because we cannot just be sitting here talking with no action. So in that sense, thank you, Itumeleng, for your time. I know you have a busy schedule. I know that as a learner, you have other things to do. But thanks for your time, and we really appreciate, and we hope that soon you'll invite us on your graduation.
Yeah, thanks for having. Thank you to the listeners too.